Hi friends, it's Valerie. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to this week's What's for Dinner. If you are new here, I would love if you would hit that subscribe button and join my YouTube family. And don't forget to leave a like or a comment down below because it really does help my channel. It's been a minute since I've had a What's for Dinner for you guys, but coming back strong here with some good meals. I'm gonna say I had quite a few things that I really enjoyed, but if I had to pick a quick, more simple dinner that I liked a lot still, didn't lack in flavor, it was going to be like a pesto chicken skillet. I really loved that a lot. But anyways, let's just get started. Okay, so I'm starting this off by taking a corned beef brisket. I just happen to have a point cut on hand, and it was about a little over 4 pounds. I stuck that in the Instant Pot. I'm using the pressure luck method, which is like a cup and a half of liquid. I'm using beef broth, and then he recommends like 90 minutes for a 3 pound if you want it really tender. So I upped that for an hour and 40 minutes for my little over 4 pound corned beef here. And I gave that a 15-minute natural release. For the Russian dressing, I'm going to be halving the recipe that I have linked for you. So it's about half a cup of mayonnaise, about 2.5 tablespoons of ketchup. I'm putting a little bit of relish, maybe like half a tablespoon's worth in there. It doesn't call for that. And then maybe about half a tablespoon of horseradish and half a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. I kind of mixed that together because I was kind of tasting along the way. And then I added 1 tablespoon of finely just like grated onion and stirred that. Again, I'm just tasting along the way. Salt and pepper to taste. It also calls for cornichons. I didn't have those, nor did I want to go get them to use them for this, so I just left that out. That's probably why I substituted with the relish. And then I added about an 1/8 teaspoon of paprika, and you can add hot sauce to it if you'd like, but I didn't do that, and I just stirred it all together. And here is my corned beef, just what it looks like after in the Instant Pot. I just removed that fat layer on the top and those seasonings, and I do believe I didn't mention, but I cooked it on top of the trivet as well. And then I'm just slicing up that corned beef into some slices for the sandwiches. This is just to preference, as thin or as thick as you'd like that to be. I'm using Kerrygold Irish butter for this, but you can use whatever butter you have on hand. You're just going to butter. I'm doing rye bread, and I'm buttering one side of each. I'm putting that down on my pan. I'm putting a layer of the Russian dressing on each of the slices of bread. And then again, I'm using Swiss cheese for this. You can use another cheese if you don't like Swiss. I completely understand that. I'm not the biggest fan of Swiss, but Gruyere might be nice. And then I'm taking some sauerkraut. Next time we'll make sure to drain this a lot better. I didn't do a great job of that, but I like a lot, so I'm just putting as much as I like on mine. Then I'm putting that corned beef there on top. Again, this is all just a preference. Then you're just flipping over your bread onto the other side, and as long as your cheese is melted, it will be great. And it's nice and toasted up to my liking. Again, that's just preference. I served this just with some frozen fries. These were just like the Red Robin fries. I really like those for freezer fries. And simple but super delicious. This satisfied a craving. We just really liked this a lot. We recently had Korean barbecue for dinner one night, so I didn't get any good clips of that. I literally just have the pictures from Instagram, so they go the other direction, and I completely forgot about you guys for a moment and taking in one the other direction. Sorry about that, but just wanted to show that as what we had for dinner that night. And if you've never had it before, it's just like your choices of meats or different vegetables, and you have this hot plate at the table that you're sitting at, and you basically cook it yourself, but it is really, really delicious. For this, I'm starting off with a can of refried beans. I'm putting on the bottom of, this is an 8x8 baking dish. Now this original recipe that I'll have linked for you is a 9x13 baking dish, so I don't need that much. It's just too much for us, so I'm cutting the recipe down just to work for what's best for me. I'll kind of tell you the amounts that I put in, but I will link the original measurements. So I just used the full can of the beans on the bottom of the 8x8 baking dish. I have 1 pound of ground beef that I had already had cooked, so I just heated that up, placed another layer of that meat on top of the beans. Then I'm covering the top of that with cheese. That's just to eyeing it to what I had already. I bought this little taco tray already made at the store for $5. So I used the cheese part of that. And then I'm taking a layer of tortilla chips, placing that on top of there as well. And I baked this at 400 degrees. It says for 15 to 20 minutes. I can't remember the exact time. It might have been a little less because I had a smaller dish. But I just kept an eye on it until the tortilla chips weren't like getting too browned. And then I just served that with lettuce, tomato, sour cream, my favorite hot sauce. I always keep, oh no, I did make fresh Spanish rice that night. So I just made some Spanish rice to go on the side with that. And we love a good like taco night style meal. So it was delicious, hit the spot, super easy, and also filling. If you're gonna make it like a partial tray like this, I still use the one full can of beans. I always like to do that instead of like, using a partial and then I kind of forget about the rest of it and it goes bad. I figure you can't go wrong with a little bit more bean to meat ratio. I was eating dinner alone this night and I just went to McDonald's. It's like right across the street from where I live, so I just walked on over. I got some really good deals in the app that week because when our local sports team wins, like the Big Mac's like $1, and then I had like dollar fries. It was really inexpensive a meal. I paid under $3 and I haven't had a Big Mac in a while, so I really enjoyed that, and I always love McDonald's fries. I've started this off by already cubing 2 pounds of chicken. This is actually a little bit over, but it's chicken breast. It's not chicken tenderloin like the recipe originally called for. It's just what I already had. And I'm not following the recipe to a T. It's just kind of like my guideline. So it says to season with like salt, pepper, all that. I'm using Kinder's The Blend because it's got salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And I'm also taking the Kinder's garlic and herb and I'm sprinkling that all in there. I'm just kind of using my hands to like mix this all together, and wherever I see like not enough seasoning, I just keep adding some more until I feel like it's seasoned to my liking. You can do to your preferences on that. You can follow the directions or use your favorite seasonings like I am here. Then I'm taking 2 tablespoons of avocado oil. I'm putting that in my skillet over medium-high heat, and then I'm adding in all of my little chicken breast cubes here. I just give it lots of stirring. Like once it got some brown color, then I gave it a stir. But I stir frequently. I don't sit here flipping each piece of chicken. I just keep stirring, and it's about 8 to 10 minutes depending on the size of the chicken that you cubed. And I just keep like watching it, and occasionally I'll check like the biggest pieces I have, and I'll just kind of like break them open, see how they look. And once it's done, I pulled it out of the pan. And to the same pan, I'm adding 1/2 cup of chicken broth, and I'm going to just use my little spatula here to scrape up all those bits off the bottom of the pan. They come up really easy with the liquid and the heat being like on a higher heat. And those are all the flavors. So you want to make sure to scrape up all those bits. And then to that, I'm adding some broccoli. It says about 1 pound. I didn't really even measure. I just had a bunch of broccoli, cut it up, put it in there with 10 ounces of grape tomatoes. I don't have a lid that completely fits this pan, so I just got my biggest one and put it in there. It worked perfectly fine. And I let that steam until the broccoli was tender, which is just like a few minutes. And I gave it a stir really quick. Then I'm taking a jar of pesto. This is a 6.5 ounce jar, I believe. Now the recipe calls for 2. I definitely say do not do that. Like 1 was definitely enough in my opinion. I'm a big pesto lover, but 2 would have been way overbearing for this. I'd say maybe even start off with 1/2 and see if it's to your liking before you just get like too crazy with it. But I just put that in, stirred it together a little bit to break up that sauce, get it blended well in with the juices on the bottom. That's going to spread it out a little bit more. Then I added my chicken back to the pan and gave it another stir to get it all nice and coated with that pesto. Now again, it's your preference. You can add more pesto if you like, but this was perfect to me with the 1 jar. It worked out great. It tasted amazing. I actually loved this dish so much. But then I took a sprinkling of Parmesan. I don't think I measured. It calls for 1/4 cup. I just sprinkled some shredded on top, and I served this over white rice, and I cannot add enough just how much we really loved this meal. Again, we're huge pesto lovers, but oh man, it was good. Next time I might even try to sneak in more broccoli. Like, oh man, I loved the broccoli with the pesto. It was really incredible. Lastly, we just had some breakfast for dinner. This is nothing fancy or anything. I just had some bread I needed to use up, so I made French toast with it. I made some hash browns I also needed to use up, and just some bacon. Really simple, but you can't go wrong with some good breakfast. It's been a minute since I had French toast, and I was really craving it, and it just really hit the spot. So you can't go wrong for a quick, easy breakfast for dinner. I have missed y'all so much. It feels really good to do one of these What's for Dinner videos. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that little bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I hope you all have a great day.